that money, what we get into. Show more. About that money, get residuals. Show more.
Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes. There you go.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
She go.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
They go.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
We go.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
2-step.
Ooh la la.
Looking for Ams like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like where the bread. What it do, YouTube? You're now tuned into POPAVIST. That be me. POPAVIST TV. This my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. If it's your first time, then please come on in. Over here, we deal with the sports, hip-hop, interviews, Popavisms 101, and motivation. If that sounds like something you can rock with, then before you leave, kindly hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. Yeah. And if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. We in the end game because Bill Cosby was denied parole on the premise that he refused to partake in a sexual rehabilitation program, if you will, or like a registered type of program. I guess when you have cases like this is what you got to do. So parole denied him. So I seen the story, you know what I mean? I said, damn it, man. First, let me ask this before we continue. Do you believe he's guilty? If you do believe he's guilty, why do you believe that he's guilty? If you don't believe he's guilty, why don't you believe that he's guilty? And I ask this question because in America, this is America, don't get you slipping now. We see cases and instances where a person is convicted, meaning they went through the steps to prove their innocence and they was found guilty, but they really was innocent. We've seen a lot of cases like that. And a lot, you know, for modern technology, DNA and all that. In some cases, all too long, it's 20 years later, 15 years later, 10 years later, then swing back around like, oh, nah, this person was innocent. We fucked up. And then also we see cases where somebody is proven innocent, but we still think they're guilty. Thus, enter O.J. Simpson. Yeah, he was proven innocent, that he didn't do the crimes that he was accused of. And the public, or some of the public, because it was kind of split back in 94 or 95, it was kind of split. Like, people was like, yeah, he didn't do it. And then other people was like, nah, he did it. He got away with one. And that's why on a swing back, you know, with the shit that happened in Vegas, they did him in, gave him all that time for the robbery and all that. People were saying that was payback, etc. The number of days, the days they sentenced him and all that shit. Especially if you subscribe to the conspiracy theorists. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I say that to say, whether you believe guilty or innocent, we do know we have both instances where you proven innocent, but people think you're guilty. You proven to be guilty, but people think you're innocent. You know what I mean? Or the person is really innocent. So what happens? So he was up for parole. I think he got a 3 to 10. You know what I mean? So the maximum he can do is 10, and the less he can do is 3. And it don't even seem like it's been that long. So when I seen the story, Pat, I'm like, dang, he was up for parole that fast. Seemed like he just went to trial, and last year. And no matter the case, as far as the timeline, you know what I mean? The time stone, Tony, there was no other way. He was up for parole. He got denied parole. And the reason why he got denied parole was because, again, he didn't want to partake in the drug offense program, drug offense, the sexual offense program, or whatever sexual rehabilitation program that they have in place. Now, y'all know me. I was up top before a few times. I'm not an angel, and I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fall flat on your face and fail. Now, I've been up north. On my first time as an adolescent, as a kid, you know what I mean, 16, you know what I mean? That's why when you see stuff, and this is a side note, when you see stuff on the internet, social media, Twitter, it was just something trending recently where it was some black kids, you know what I mean? It was a black officer, looked like an Asian officer, and a white officer. And they had them on the ground, and they was handcuffed. And a lot of people was like, oh, they handcuffed. Why they handcuffed? Why? I mean, like, Jadakiss, why is the industry designed to keep the artists in debt? Like, you know what I mean? Why dudes ain't riding, but they party is set? Like that part. And it's like, damn, I know at 16, I did mad shit. And I know other people that was in my age bracket was doing the most as well. So just because you a child or you a teenager, don't mean you can't be doing the most, don't mean you're not doing the most. I was up north at 16. One of the youngest, people in the jail I was in. Whole grown adult in jail. I was the only child there on my first one. With that being said, on this particular bid, I know dudes that had life or that had 20 to life, you know what I mean, or 20 flat or whatever they had that didn't go to the parole board. And I was like, damn, you're not going, all this was new to me. My first time going through the first rodeo, going through the system. And I was talking with some of these dudes like, damn, you refusing to go to the parole board? And it was like, yeah, like, one, I know they're not letting me go. That's number one. So you got people that don't go because they like, I'm not going to play the shenanigans with you. I'm not going to do the song and dance. You're not going to, spin me around and play around with me, look me up and down, only to deny me. You know what I mean? And then you have other people, for the same reasons that Bill Cosby has refused to partake. It's like, I'm innocent. Although I was proven guilty in the court of law, I know I didn't do this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go to the parole board where you have to say your crimes all over again, show your remorse, or show that you are remorseful, show that you learn while you doing your time. And you sitting in front of them, sometimes letters come depending on the type of case it is. Say it's a murder case or a big case. Normally the family will write a letter or a recommendation like, don't let this motherfucker out. Like, we still going through anguish, and some of those things may be true. But that don't mean the person did it. It could be somebody else, still free, still, out in the world. But I met brothers on both sides of the coin. Like, I'm just going to max out. I'm just going to see y'all. Meaning, max out, meaning you don't got to go. Say you got 20 years and you on your 15th year or your 16th year and you coming up for parole. They can hit you with 2 years. So in essence, they can hit you 2 times. 2 and 2, which is 4. 4 and 16 is 20. People be like, I'm not even going to do the song and dance with these motherfuckers. Fuck these crackers. I'm just going to sit back, do my time, and when I get out, I'm not going to be on parole. I'm going to be a whole free man. And then you got the people, like I said, who they don't want to go in front of the parole board, not for fear that they know they're not going to get parole, but because they don't want to have to sit there and be remorseful and admit the guilt all over again, when in their heart they're like, nah, I didn't do the crimes that I'm convicted of, so I'm not going to do that. And this leads me to this. Bill Cosby, 83. So he's saying, fuck that. I'd rather stay in prison than to go and admit, because he's still operating under, I didn't do this shit. Fuck what y'all saying, fuck with evidence, fuck what the women is saying. I didn't do this shit. And so I'm not going to go and then participate in the sexual program or sexual offender just to get parole. I'd rather stay here, blind, legally blind and all that. Like, I'm going to keep my ass in here. And then you think of KODAKBLACK. You think of Charlemagne. You think of other people, like I said, in cases like this, when it comes to putting Molly's all on her champagne and she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. Like, those type of things, I'm not doing that. And I got felonies on the jacket. So another felony for me, this IDO say night-night. Like, yeah, I know what it's like to lose. Turns the legs to jelly. Like, yeah, like you go on 25 this time because, because you hard-headed. You one of them niggas that don't learn. Like, yeah, you don't learn. You've been doing this shit since you was a kid. So now that we got you, you know what I mean? Yeah, you never coming back. But I'm taking my chances. Like, what's in the bank? Oh, my life is in the bank. Yeah, so what you got? Yeah, I got a head crack either way. You know what I mean? Triple ding dings either way. 4, 5, 6 either way. Better 6 and better. Yeah, better extra life on that. Because if you lose, you roll anything but a 6, head crack, triple ding dings, you're out of here. Like, do you ever think about when you out of here? Record deal, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that part, you out of here. I'm not copping out to nothing like that. So when people cop out, say, damn, the Tupacs, you know what I mean, and Iron Mikes, these type of situations. Now, again, we know on the flip side of that, when it's dealing with sexual, cases like this, women be lying like a motherfucker, like lying like a motherfucker. In the age of the cameras and all that now, we seen women bash their own faces into the wall and hit their own self just to get on the bat line and call police. Like, oh, this motherfucker put his hands on me. Please come get this nigga. Let him have several seats. That's how much the vendetta is, you know what I mean, against the individual. So we know they lie. And in this case here, I don't know if he did it or not. I know he was proven guilty so far. He waiting on his appeal. But I do know at 83, he got a chance to come home and get up out of that shithole. And he like, nah, I'm going to stay right here because I didn't do this shit. I'm not putting none of that on my jacket. I say that's honorable. I say that's on up. Let's do it like the movie. On up, on up. I say that's honorable because a lot of motherfuckers will come home or want to come home. Even like, you know what, I ain't do this shit, but damn, after this year and a half sitting in this fucking hellhole, eating this yakisobe and this chili con corn, I want out of here. Plus, I was a millionaire. I'm old. I can't see. I need help moving around. I need to get up out of here. Well, y'all want me to sign out? Yeah, I sign up or register as a sex offender. Let me get the fuck up out of here. I want to be in this prison. He said, no. He said, Dikembe Mutombo, no. I'm not signing nothing that says I partake in any of that because I didn't do it. So that's that. I'd rather die in here like a man than to live on my knees on some, y'all forcing a nigga to say he was a molester. What y'all think about that? You got Charlemagne, because his videos is popping back up now. You know, that he got the whole thing. Kwame keep putting foot to ass. So all his old, his business is open for the public now. He on record like, I left the party. I wasn't even there. And niggas told me XYZ happened, so I took my ass down to the precinct and said, I'll just take the blame for everything. What? What? You heard somebody got taken advantage of and you gonna walk your ass to the precinct and tell them that you was responsible? You brought the liquor, you did to minors? I'm looking with the side eye because there's no way in hell that I'm doing that. I'm not walking my ass nowhere confessing or saying I did anything that got anything to do with Molly's and her champagne or kids. I'm not doing that. Maybe some drugs, maybe a gun, maybe some violence, maybe some foot and hands on a nigga ass that was violating. Yeah, I did the shit. Or maybe I didn't do it, but if I could get lesser time, then fuck it. I know what it's like to lose, to be, you know what I mean, behind the wall. Yeah, I may take a chance with that. With those other things, it's no way in hell I'm taking a chance on that. I'm not walking down there and saying, yeah, I'll just take responsibility for all those other grown men that was there. And I wasn't even there? Gotta look with the side eye. KODAKBLACK, he like, yeah, I ain't got to pay no money. I ain't got to register. So maybe that's why he did it, because he don't got to register. Because once you register, like, that's on your jacket for, I guess, how long it's got to be. But what y'all think? Bill Cosby at 83, legally blind, need help moving around, locked up. Like Akon, locked up, they won't let me out. And he like, fuck it. I ain't do that shit. I'm not signing on. I'm not being involved in no programs that say I did anything with that. Fuck y'all. Respectfully. I'll stay right here. He could die in there. You know what I mean? Speaking of Rick Ross with the Molly's and champagne, I could see the news in the headline now. Bill Cosby, see the headlines now. Bill Cosby dies in prison. You know what I mean? And it's very possible because he's old. And you don't get the best of help in there. All you get is some aspirin. That's all they giving you. A headache, stomach ache, your finger broken, like your tooth hurt. All you're going to get is the same shit. You know what I mean? You're going to get Tylenol. You're going to get some off-brand Tylenol. That's all you're going to get. Go sleep on it. Drink some water. That's it. Like, I know what it's like to be in there. You do not want to be in prison sick, and you don't get the best of health care in there at all. You don't. That's why a lot of people don't even go to sick call. That's what they call it, sick call, for those of y'all that didn't know. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all think he guilty, innocent, what do y'all think of the these new circumstances with him relinquishing his right to even try to get out? He like, fuck it, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Stay right here until that appeal come through. Does that make y'all look with a different lens? Or y'all still saying, yeah, that nigga did it, Pill Cosby, as they was calling him. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's your boy, POPAVIST. You now tuned in. POPAVIST TV. That's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, so sometimes we might fuck up. We authentic, that feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.